What's good, and welcome back to Miles Apart. Hello, Matthew, who's sitting next to me for the first time that we've ever done this podcast.
Hello. It's nice to finally do this in person.
I'm not used to this whatsoever.
I know it's interesting.
So sorry, dear listeners, that we skipped, I think, like 2 weeks in a row. It was due to that I went to a festival 2 weeks ago, and I obviously didn't have time to record there. Um,
And then I went to Lisbon before I came here, so
yes.
trying to figure out the timings. This didn't work, so here we are.
I guess so. Stop looking at me. It's weird.
Am I supposed to be looking there?
That's where I'm looking at.
Okay.
Um, we're not used to sitting next to each other. Usually we're miles apart from each other. So this is all very new. How should we start this?
So we can talk about me coming to Europe first.
Yes, that's.
So
Tell us, with who are you here? Where did you go first?
So I came here with my girlfriend Candace, and we went to Lisbon for 3 days, and then eventually we came to Switzerland, and we got to see Zurich, and now we're in the mountains. And honestly, past 3 days have been like perfect. So I was trying to get through Lisbon. It was nice and all, but like I just wanted to get here.
So, in other words, Lisbon was not important to you.
Pretty much.
Okay.
But it was good. It's interesting. Their food's interesting. I like the city vibe. It's very like small and nice walkable areas.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't get to see the beaches, and on our last day it was like pouring rain. But besides that, it was good. Just a lot of traveling. You know, there's a 7-hour flight to Dublin, and then to Dublin to Lisbon. It's 3 hours, and then in between we had to wait, and then traveling to Geneva, flying, and then taking the train to Zurich, and then driving here. It's a lot,
I
but
bet. Sounds like it.
it's so weird. Instead of looking at the camera and talking to you, I like look over and you're there. So I'm like, does it look better if I'm looking there, or does it look better if I'm looking at you?
Quite frankly, from our YouTube stats, I think no one really watches the recorded version of it, so we're better off talking like this. um, what did surprise you the most in Portugal compared to Switzerland? Because you've never, so like for listeners, you've only been to Switzerland and like a bit of France and Budapest
Yes.
in
So
Europe.
Lisbon was like, or Portugal was third country I've been to in Europe. Well, fourth.
Fourth.
Well, France I've been, and just because we've skied into it,
And
which
hiked.
in heights. But I don't know. Everyone's pretty friendly. I feel like there was a lot of people walking around. Like it's very touristy,
Mm-hmm.
like heavily touristy. Um, but we stayed in a really awesome area, so I really liked it. But they they really love their seafood, and surprisingly, they like to mix it with cheese, which is really weird to me. But I don't know. I don't know if I would be able to live there, but I would be able to live here. If that makes sense.
So you'd be able to live here in Switzerland, but not in Portugal.
Yeah,
Okay, interesting.
because I think I like the culture here more than Portugal. But I mean, I was only there for 3 days, and
Yeah, I was about to say.
I didn't get to do as much. I'm sure if I was there with somebody that lives there or knows where to go, I would have liked it way more.
Mm-hmm.
Perks of coming here with you.
Yes, that's always helpful to visit someone who lives in that country. Definitely the case.
Yeah.
Um, and so then you guys came to Switzerland, and we went to the mountains. This time, for the listener, kind of important is I think this is the first time we've been here with a car and really used it.
Yeah, because the first time we took a car, we rented the car, and it was this like shitty car, shitty small red car, worth like $1 million. We had to pay for it, and then we didn't really. We basically just like picked up the groceries and came up here, and then
Yeah.
just stayed. So it's nice having your car, and we can go all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
Especially Chamonix. I like seeing. I pay attention to the ultra races and stuff, and Chamonix is like the mecca of it worldwide. So it was nice to like be there and then do that awesome hike, and you can see the what is it called, like the,
Mont Blanc.
yeah, Mont Blanc.
Yes.
Very breathtaking.
Yeah, it's
It's just
insane.
huge. Everything's massive.
Yeah, I mean, compared, so like for everyone from Switzerland, maybe listening to our podcast, we are currently in Champoussin, which is next to Champéry, and it's kind of at the beginning of the Valais, not too far away as a reference from Montreux. And we do have like high peaks here, but like Chamonix is a different level,
Mm-hmm.
and it's quite impressive to go there. Even like I've been there before, but like it blows my mind,
Yeah,
even though I'm from here.
I couldn't imagine living there. And every single day, it's just like towers. Because like if you live in a city like Chicago or something,
Yeah.
you look up and you see tall buildings, but in there you look up and you see big mountains,
Mm-hmm.
which I would prefer. But
Would you say out of all the mountains you've seen so far that these were the most impressive ones?
um, I guess I feel like those were crazy because they're so compact that they just look crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like if I had those mountains like right there,
Yeah.
would they look just like that one does? The ones that are right in front of us? Or wait, I guess they're
Oh,
this higher elevation, so they're bigger. So
well,
yeah.
the Mont Blanc is like 1,000 meters higher than the Dent du Midi, which are the mountains we're currently looking at. Um, I think l'Aiguille du Midi, which is a tall mountain next to Le Mont Blanc, is also like 3,500. So it's like
Hmm.
sort of the same, like Les Dents du
Hmm.
Midi.
I'd say they're pretty similar, but I will say also Montana. I was in Glacier National Park, and that was nuts too.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. It's hard to compare.
Yeah.
You know.
One thing I really liked about going to Chamonix is the drive.
Yeah.
It's that one nice street from Martigny in direction of Chamonix. It's like this. So like where we are right now, there like the first part is like this nice paved, good like big street, and to like afterwards it gets like a very narrow and like sketchy type of street where you can go fast, but like is rather difficult.
Hmm.
I would never do it, but but that other street is like perfect to go
Yeah.
fast, which I definitely showcased at some point.
It's interesting coming on this trip because every other time I've always known you as like you and like, oh, I only ride bikes and whatever, and then now like you have your license and you like love driving and everything. It's totally different side of you because like every other aspect of you and any like other kind of event you're just like whatever, like, and then you get into a car and you're like, what the fuck, these people are so slow and all this stuff, and then you get so zoned in. I remember like when we were driving up here, like the first day, you were so like zoned in, and even Candace was like, I don't really know if he's just like so different driving. It's like, but I think you were just like just got out of work and
Yeah.
tired. You had to wake up at like 5 a.m.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, I was very tired. I was also trying the first day when we drove up here. I was trying to not go too fast. That's why I was zoned in
Mm.
because I know the street by heart. So
You know where to push the pace, but you're
yes,
trying not to.
it's more difficult for me to not drive so fast
Yeah.
because I have to constantly remind myself like, oh, don't go too fast.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, when I drive, like driving on the highways is boring to me compared to like driving in those mountains here. That's when I really
I
love it.
I can tell like as soon as we get to the mountains, you're just like, oh yeah. Well, it's kind of like picturesque, like if you were a race car driver or something like that, like you had a sports car. This is like where you want to
Oh,
drive it. You know, you want to
heaven.
like test out like how well it can like go over around a curve and stuff
Yes.
and like speed up. So I mean, I get it. It's like Mario Kart.
Pretty much, yes. And I think so when we drove back from Chamonix, was this one moment where we had this Volkswagen, but it was like a pretty like strong engine version.
Mm-hmm.
Then I had a Porsche 911 in front of me. We were in the Volvo from my parents, and there
Mm-hmm.
was an Audi behind me. And we overtook this one car, and we're all just flying on that
Yeah,
street. I loved it. I totally forgot you guys were sitting next to me. I was just in my zone. I was like, I can do this all day. This is my favorite thing to do.
it's pretty cool being like having multiple cars in a row, just like all like zooming.
Yes.
As long as everyone's like good at driving.
I would say, I mean, they all look like they were from the region because you don't
Yeah,
go that fast if you're not used to this type of like driving.
yeah. It's just amazing that the people that live around mountains drive so fast. You would think that they would just drive like very cautious and whatever, but like
No.
everyone living here like pushes the pace way a lot.
Well, and I've driven different cars in the mountains, but like the Volvo of my parents has like a good amount of horsepower,
Hmm.
and so it's nice to have like a good car in the mountains. But like if you have a really fast car, then that's like sweet spot because like you hit the gas when it goes up like really steep, and the car just jumps.
Hmm.
The car's like, all right, let's do this. So yeah, that's
Yeah, I mean, and you know the route. You've done it a bunch of times now, so you know
yeah,
like
yeah.
I can just rip it right here, and then right when it turns, then I'll slow down and.
I will say though, today we were driving, and at some point I was like, man, this street is kind of getting boring. Because like the one to Chamonix was new. Well, I was there like once or twice before. I had the GPS, so I like was paying attention on like the curves in front of me and whatnot. But the other street was just bigger, and like that was nice.
Hmm.
But this one here is more technical. But like I just know it so well that's like
It's fun to try out new things, like
yes,
new
one hundred
roads and
percent,
stuff.
100%.
You just like go to random like parts of Switzerland and France just to drive and drive back.
I've thought about it numerous times in my life as a driver, which hasn't been that long.
I know Candace was like, well, I definitely feel more comfortable with Melchior driving around here than me. I'm like, I've been driving since I was 16. I was like, not even 7, 8 years or whatever.
And meanwhile, I'm like driving 1 year and she trusts me more.
I guess it makes sense you drive. I mean, you don't really drive in the city at all.
Like, I mean, I drive there when I have to pick up the car and whatnot. Like, I'm used to city driving. I learned to drive in the city, but like most of the times when I drive is like the highway to get here, and then
Hmm.
I whip the car around the corners here in the mountains. So
Yeah.
that's my main territory. But yeah, so we've been hiking a lot. I think today I brought you guys to your breaking point.
I think it was just the accumulation of everything. And I was the supreme bitcher of the day.
To be fair, we arrived here on Wednesday. Thursday, we did like a 5 hour hike. Then Friday, maybe not.
I wonder why.
Yeah, we got very drunk Thursday night. And
One person.
no, Candace threw up in the night. I threw up in the morning.
Okay,
So,
okay, that's
well, my
fair.
throwing up like continued to like 3 p.m. So
Yeah.
that was kind of shit. But then we did a big hike in Chamonix. We did a massive one yesterday,
Hmm.
and then today was like a short one, but it's like very steep, and I think
It's just from
that's
the start, like
yeah.
starting straight up. I think that's what made it ass.
Plus, I think you guys, I kind of looked at you both. You were both like kind of like taking in the scenery and
Hmm.
just like, oh, like this was very narrow street and like, oh, nice. And suddenly I'm like, all right, let's start walking. And it's just like up.
Yeah. And then I just look up and you're like all the way out there. I'm like, shit, I gotta go all the way up there. But it was good. Definitely not my favorite hike, but I would say Chamonix was my favorite. But I do love the first hike that we did,
Mm-hmm.
just because we always do that one,
Mm-hmm.
and we got to go into the water. Is that considered a lake, or is that just a pond?
No, it's a lake.
Hmm. I
It's
haven't.
like, for listeners, it's a little, I wouldn't say it's a glacier lake. It's like a mountain lake on like, I have no idea about feet, but it's like on 2,200 meters
Hmm.
elevation. Um, if you're American, do the calculation yourself
Hmm.
because I don't know. But yes, it's stunning. It's really beautiful.
It's nice because I always talk about hiking here and whatever, and my girlfriend really has no experience. I mean, she has some experience in hiking, but like that was a proper 5 hour hike, and so having her do it, I think she understands more.
Yeah.
Like she liked it and appreciates it, but she definitely said that it was like the hardest thing that she's ever done.
Hmm. But we weren't for the first couple of days. For the first day, not couple of days. Someone else joined.
Someone else?
Is how can I describe this? We are currently dating.
You are?
Well, we're dating, but we're not like officially in a relationship.
So you're talking.
Well, sometimes you do talk, yes.
Okay. Well, I don't know what they say in Switzerland, but you talk until you start dating and then you're together. Dating is to get being together.
Oh, okay, so we're talking.
Yeah.
Wow, that's such a weird word.
You're talking and you're exclusive. So it's like friends with benefits.
Well, she might be potentially listening to this, and I think it's much more than just friends with benefits. Trust me on that one. But yes, that was nice. We came up here, the four of us. We did the first hike together. Um, we had this beautiful day. Honestly, like we've been very lucky with the weather in general. Um, First night, you guys experienced. Well, you have experienced fondue. Candace did as well, but
She loved it. She loved it so much she tried the tiniest bit of it and didn't like it because she hates cheese anyways.
for me that's like difficult to understand because I'm like, how could you not love cheese? But I guess, I mean,
You're Swiss.
yes.
Well, I think it's just anything with a strong, like, particular flavor,
Yeah.
like cheese or mustard, or I don't even know anything out. Like whatever, like fish, you know. Just some things have, like I don't like truffle like at all.
You don't like truffle?
No. So anything with truffle in it, it's like, oh my god, I can't eat it because it tastes only like truffle, like truffle French fries or like truffle on pasta or something. I can't do it because it only tastes like truffle.
I love truffle. It's just
Night.
very expensive.
Well, yeah. Do you know how they find it?
Yeah, with pig.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of them, so.
Does your mom like truffles? Because she loves pig.
I mean, yes, she loves truffles because it's a delicacy. Delicacy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really good. Like the taste is unique, and yes, it has a very strong one, but like some good pasta with like truffle on it.
Mm. No,
Mm.
not my
A good
thing.
risotto with like some truffles on it.
No,
Yeah.
but I mean, it's the same thing. She just doesn't like cheese,
Yeah.
so
Makes sense.
which I wasn't complaining. I ate the whole thing.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, it was a really good one. Um What was I gonna say?
It's also nice just sitting. So like the first night we were up in the mountains, we got to sit and have drinks outside. And I love like Candace and I love eating outside or like having drinks outside. So
Yeah, after this episode, we will head to the balcony and have an Aperol Spritz, and then we'll do some barbecue in the back of the house.
mm-hmm.
Um, compared to this is the how many times have you been here in Switzerland generally?
Sixth or seventh or something like that.
Holy bananas! That's quite a
From
that's
the first time you're just being like, bitch, you need to come.
true. And nowadays you're like, you might move here.
Yeah. I pretty much come at least once a year now.
Yeah.
Except for COVID year. And then the 2021, I tried to come. I went to the airport. Remember that?
Oh my God! Yes.
I literally went all the way to the airport and was like, "Here's my." I bought a ticket and everything, and then they're like, "Well, you're not allowed to go. Like, Americans aren't allowed in any Schengen areas or whatever." And then I was able to go like a month later.
True. True. I was about to say you did show up.
I did show up, but then I had to get like a COVID test in Zurich to be able to come home.
Yes, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, but that was fun. Interesting COVID years.
But so you've been 6 or 7 times here. I don't want to say which trip has been your favorite because I feel like they're all very different.
Mm-hmm.
But now that you're like, you know your way around in Zurich, you know your way
Mm-hmm.
around here in the Valais, like as much as it was stunning to you to see everything at first, is it still to that point, or are you getting used to it?
I don't think it's like getting used to it. It's just like feeling more comfortable,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like when I'm here, I'm so comfortable and happy.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that kind of thing,
Mm-hmm.
you know? So I don't know. I could like sit in this place forever.
Yeah.
You know? It's one of the only places where I feel like so peaceful and happy.
Yeah, I mean to like everyone who has not never been here and who's listening, my grandpa bought this apartment here in the mountains, and it's on an elevation of like 1,700 meters, something like that. But you have this massive view on Les Dents du Midi, which is, they look like seven teeths in one row. I think they're the most beautiful mountains in the world. But I'm also like, I spend so much time up here,
Mm-hmm.
but it's like this small ass village. Like it's not even like a village itself. It's like attached to a different village, like 500 meters down in the valley.
Mm-hmm.
Um, maybe I want to say 5 people live here throughout the entire year. But that's why it's like so unique, because it's like you're so like you're by your like on your own
Mm-hmm.
pretty much, and it's like there's nothing happening up here. Like you'll hear maybe sometimes people talk, but the other, like yesterday we went on this hike and we didn't hear anything but cows and like all the insects.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just living in a city and there's constant noises and stuff. It's nice to be outdoors and then also not around a lot of people,
Mm-hmm.
which
Mm-hmm.
I have found that I really want in the future.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I can see that. It's also interesting to me, like the first time we went grocery shopping in Switzerland, you were so amazed by everything.
yeah.
I mean, it's the same like when a European person goes to like
A Walmart.
Walmart. Yeah, they're like, what? So it's like the same type of feeling. But nowadays, I thought about this today when we're in the store. You just know what you're getting. You know all the products. You're not like amazed by anything anymore. Like the first couple of times, you would like pick up stuff. Sometimes you'd be like, what is this? And nowadays, you like know exactly where what is. I'm always like, huh, he's getting really used to this country.
I'm not like, oh my God, chocolate yogurt. I feel like the first time I came, everything was so strange to me. It's just like we go to the grocery store and they're playing like John Mayer. I'm like, what the hell? And then like every other product that we looked at, it was just like, what is this?
That was especially the case with chocolate yogurt, which is the most random and normal thing for us in Switzerland, and it freaked you out.
I don't know.
Is that not a thing in the US?
I don't think it is.
I still can't believe
Because
that.
yogurt in America is like plain vanilla or like some fruit, or maybe they have like a cheesecakey one flavor one.
But it's stunning to me because you guys are like the country of like having every flavor there is in like every sort of food there is.
Yeah.
But with yogurt, you draw the line. You're like, no, no chocolate yogurt.
Well, when I think of a chocolate yogurty thing, I think of pudding.
Yeah,
Like growing up, we ate chocolate pudding all the time.
I guess it's not the same for us.
Yeah. It's just like little things.
Yeah, I mean,
But now being here for 6 or 7 times, it's not like, oh my God, like tomato hummus, you know? I know I like it, so I'm going to get it. And then I really like the bread. I'm not going to be like, waitress, can I keep this bread? It's so good, you know?
with the one thing I kind of start like losing that feeling whenever you would show up now. But I have this on this trip thanks to Candice.
Mm,
Is that when you have people who don't live here or not used to like Switzerland, I start like I'm so used to like my environment here, like Zurich being this like very small but like in my opinion very beautiful city and like very
mm-hmm.
safe whatnot. And then like the mountains here, like we take it for granted, like we forget sometimes where we live. And then
Yeah.
you have like you the first time who showed up was like blown away by everything and you keep on telling me like this is the greatest thing ever.
Mm-hmm.
And now I see Candice and I'm like, oh yeah. And like it makes me appreciate Switzerland even more.
Mm-hmm.
Like the first night when you guys arrived in Zurich, we went out with some of my friends to like one of the outside bars and we're like drinking and we're like talking and you guys left a bit earlier because naturally you were like tired from the travel. And after that I stayed with like two of my friends there and we're like, yeah man, like totally forgot how beautiful the views here are and like what an amazing life. And like
Mm-hmm.
we're just like it's sad to say. I mean, it makes sense. You
You get
get
used
so
to it.
used to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like perspective. If you grew up here, then you're just like, this is the way my world is.
Mm-hmm.
But like, we grew up where everything's flat
Mm-hmm.
and you don't do a lot outside. Like
Yep.
growing up, I literally did not do much outside besides play baseball or football. And then after I didn't play those sports, what was I going to do outside?
Okay, but I will say I'm also a very bad argument for that because I've been like I grew up with
Not everyone has something like
yes,
this.
and my mom and I are hyperactive.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot stay an entire day on a couch. I need
Yeah.
to do stuff, and so is my mom. So therefore, when you came here first time, of course, we did like a bunch of stuff every
Mhm.
day. But there are people who don't do as much and who live also in Switzerland and who grew up here, which is totally
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I love doing stuff. So coming for the first time and getting to do pretty much all the things you could possibly do, it's like blew my mind.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You guys are going to. So today is Monday. Yes, Monday.
I don't know.
I really have to think about it
I
for
have
a
no
second.
idea.
And tomorrow y'all are taking. No, on Wednesday y'all are taking. Third time, huh? Y'all are taking the train on Wednesday morning to go to Paris. Are you excited?
Sure. I don't know. I looked at Paris before and I was like, oh my God, fashion place galore and whatever. But I love the outdoors, so I'm not like crazy to go to another big city. But it's going to be great. I don't know. I'll eat a baguette and a croissant, and I'm excited to go to this one concert because we both like love this chick. But besides that, I'm gonna look up and be like, "Oh my God, the Eiffel Tower, great!" You know,
I love.
even though people are like wait their entire life to go to Paris and everything, I'll just be like, I don't know, it's nice. Everyone speaks French.
Just like here. Oh, this is priceless. You're just sitting here and you're like, basically, I don't care about Paris.
If there's not an outdoors place, I'm indifferent. I don't think I'm gonna hate it, but I don't think that I'm gonna be like, man, I really think I'm gonna live here. You know?
So, for listeners, I was kind of surprised when Matthew started planning his trip with Candace to Europe. I asked him, I was like, where do you want to hang out? And his first answer, and it was an immediate answer, he was like, let's go to Champoux Centre Mountains. And I'm like, okay, sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I love it. It's quite frankly cheaper for me to be here than like fly anywhere. But like, it's always funny. And you like, here I can see how like you come out of your cocoon and you become this butterfly.
Yeah, I know. Like right when we got here, Candace was like, "Can't you just be this happy like all the time? Like, why do you have to be up here to be this happy?" I'm like, "If we live by mountains, then yeah, I'll be happy.
Yeah,
You
I
don't
mean,
even need to go hiking. I can just sit here and just look outside and be like, man, this is great."
well, I mean, I would still need to go hiking.
Yeah,
I can't just like sit inside the entire day.
yeah,
Yeah, but I will say, these last couple of days have been a lot. I mean, we hiked pretty much every day. The one day I was having my difficulties, so it wasn't that easy.
Everyone has their days with alcohol.
Today was yours.
Yeah, I don't know what it was, but
So usually, as you have, if you have been paying attention to this podcast for maybe a couple of episodes, Matthew, I want to say, used to be this big runner.
yeah,
Still is, still is.
I don't know. I don't really run that much, but
Okay, well, very athletic person.
yeah,
And so today we get out the car, and the first thing I start hearing is like, why does it has to go up like this? I don't like this. Man, can we just turn around? My legs are hurting. And I'm like, and I'm just like, what is happening right now?
yeah. I know. I was like halfway through, and I was like, I need to stop being so negative. Like, just finish it, and it'll be fine.
And then at some point he was like, I hate walking up here, fucking smoking, stupid alcohol.
And then we get to the top, and we just start smoking. Classic.
Yeah. And I'm like, sure.
This is what the same thing happens with race, like any of my races.
Mhm.
I'll get to a point where I'm just like tired and I'm like, fuck this. I just want to be done and whatever. But then you just gotta like keep going and then it'll go away.
Yeah. And I think it didn't help. Like I cannot hike in a normal pace, and I
Mm-hmm.
saw you guys were like behind me, and I heard at some point like, let's do a water break, and I was like, I'll just wait up top. It's
Yeah.
very easy to get up there. Is like you cannot miss it. So I just pretty much ran out the entire thing, and I'm sure if you're down there already hating your life and you look up and you see this asshole just running up there, you're like, fuck this.
Well, you were like still hiking up and we were like drinking water and waiting and whatever. And I'm like, man, he didn't stop and he's still going up. Like, this is gonna blow.
I was ready to get receive a call and be like, hey, we turned around.
I was literally thinking about it. Like we were like halfway up.
I was glad you guys didn't do it because I feel like the views were worth it.
Yeah, they were fine.
They were fine. Okay. Um, a little backstory or do you have anything else to say on this trip? Any thoughts to share
Um,
besides how great I drive?
um, I am one with nature on
Nature
this
is
trip,
nature is one with you on this trip.
and I want to publicly thank you for allowing us to be here.
You're always welcomed. Told you this numerous times before.
It's always just crazy to me that, like, what percentage of people ever get to go to Switzerland and then see this stuff. So it's just like crazy
A few.
that we just met and now I come like every single year, you know? Because like you met so many people when you moved to Chicago.
Yeah, I don't know. Like sometimes when you meet people, you're like, this people, this person seems interesting. I want to hang out more with this person. I was about to say people again.
English.
English is a virtue. It's been difficult for me the last couple of days.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. Just happened. I didn't really think that you would show up another 6 times after your first trip.
I mean, I plan on coming like pretty often now. So
Oh, I know. You're gonna be here at least once a year for eternity.
pretty much.
Yeah, so that's fine with me.
Unless I move here and then I'm here all the time.
That is a discussion you have to have with your girlfriend. I will not. I have stated my preference, but that is not what is going to determine this. You guys need to make that decision together, I
We'll
think.
see what the future holds.
Yes, yes.
But either way, there's going to be some sort of mountains.
Yeah, I mean, that's also something like I think certain people don't need it that much. But when I moved to Chicago, I missed the mountains so much. Like, I realized how attached I am to them, especially this place where we are right now.
Mm-hmm.
And ever since I've been back, I've been coming more and more. And ever since I can drive, I've been every second week here.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm my streak is good.
Well, I think you appreciate something once it's gone. Take it for
Yes.
granted before.
Yes. Was always like it's just like when I was younger, it was always like, "Hey, should we go to the mountains?" And I was like, "Yes, why not?" And since we have this place, it doesn't like the only thing I have to pay is either gas for the car or the train ticket and like
Mm-hmm.
food, but I would get food at home as well.
Mm-hmm.
And now that I'm back here, I'm like, I want to use this as much as I can. Plus, I don't need to be in Zurich every day. Sometimes I like to just go to the mountains.
Yeah, if you have like 3 days or 4 days, it doesn't really change
Oh, I've done it
anything.
with 1.5 days.
Yeah, I mean that's the dream.
It's always worth it to me.
Just water.
Yes.
You can steal it.
Mm-hmm. Yes, dear listeners, he is drinking water right now. Oh, some ASM. What's the name of it?
ASMR.
Oh, love that.
You're
I
welcome.
don't. No. What else? Yeah. So no, I wanted to touch on something else. I went with two other people to this the Zurich Open Air that happens every year.
Which I've never been invited to.
You just never show up for it. It's not my fault.
Okay.
Next summer we'll make it work.
Is it end of August?
End of August. Yes, it's the last week of the August.
The August month.
And I didn't notice. I just found this out that it is considered like the Coachella of like Switzerland.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that they're trying to be that, but I can see the vibes.
Some magazine or news place just said that. And
Yes, that's
okay.
how that's how I found out about it. But you have these festivals where it's like only rap music or like only techno or only like rock music,
mm-hmm.
and this one has like everything from like indie rock to like pop to EDM, which I don't like, to a lot of techno, which I love.
Mm-hmm.
And the big advantage is I get to take the subway home, and I'm at home within like 30 minutes maximum, which is very nice. You can go home, shower, and have a good morning and sleep and whatnot. And
does it start at like noon or something, or is it a nighttime thing?
I think it usually starts at like 3. So the festival starts on a Tuesday, and like the first couple of days, like it ends at like midnight.
Mm-hmm.
And then I want to say Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, it goes on to like 4 a.m., 5 a.m., something like that.
For some reason, Europeans just love to stay up so late. I just don't understand. But if it's fun and like interactive, I get it.
Yeah.
Just being in America and going to a bar, it's hard for me to like stay up super late.
Okay, but like we also have a lot of bars that close at like 12. Yeah. But like a lot of people, then they start going to the clubs because no one goes to a club at like 10. Mm-hmm. Most of the clubs are closed at that time. They usually open at like, I don't know, 11:30-ish. Some of them, of course, sometimes they have like something happening before that. But like usually you'll go there at like 12:30, 1 or later. Mm-hmm. And then since you do pay like entry, you're not going to leave after 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So usually you stay there for at least 2 or 3 hours. And I don't know, it's just like techno music is fun to listen to. And that's what we did at the festival. I had an amazing time. I was totally sober.
Was it your best experience, like music wise, for a concert?
Um,
And if not, what is it? Also, there's like something in my throat. It's just dry.
thanks for the info.
If you hear me coughing,
I don't know if I would. I I want to say it's like one of my favorite venues because of the location, because what it signifies to me, um, and like the entire like the vibe of it. It's like a very chill festival. Like people are not aggressive. Most of them like really go there. It's kind of like Zurich nightlife, but it's a festival
hmm
and is a bit pricey, and so not everyone goes there. And it is very like it has like every type of music, but it's like I want to say a lot of like after stuff, like after shows, after big acts are usually DJs, and there's
hmm
like a lot of DJs already in the general lineup. So I don't know, it's just I think it's one of my favorite ones. Or like Montreux Jazz Festival, that one time we went together,
hmm
but only because it's like so scenic, and then like you sit outside, you sweat your ass off with like some good food, and then you go inside and have like a nice like AC in that hall and have like amazing sound quality there.
It's a different experience though, like being at a festival,
Yes, yes,
like outdoors, and there's a huge crowd and everyone's
yes,
dancing. And
yeah, yeah. That I would say that. What about you?
my favorite?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, um, I really liked the raves the first time I came,
Mm-hmm.
but best concert ever was going to see Coldplay with my dad and my sister
Mm-hmm.
because it was like in Chicago before I even lived there,
Mm-hmm.
and then it started like pouring rain and it was outside, so then there was literally water all the way up to my ankle,
Damn.
and it was just like pouring and everyone's like dancing, and they eventually had to like stop it, like cut it off, like probably 30 minutes early, but it was
Wow.
still awesome.
Yeah.
And then we had to walk all the way back to our hotel, and the water was like way over your ankle, and
Jesus.
yeah.
But what made it so special?
I mean the music itself, and I just think there's a difference between being like a musician and then someone that can like perform, you
Mm-hmm.
know?
Yes.
So like they're just insane performers. Plus their music is really good.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Some people like don't like I feel like you're either low key love Coldplay a lot or you just like I don't really care about them, you know? A lot of people think of Coldplay as oh my dad likes them. But they're really good.
Yes, I think I would be in the second category where I think I like their music, but I'm not going to be like I need to listen to their music.
Yeah. So I went again to the same concert in the same place, but I took my friends and I was like, "This is the greatest concert I've ever been to," and they're like, "Yeah, yeah, whatever." Like, don't really even listen to them that much. And then we went to the concert and everything, and they're like, "Dude, that was like literally the peak of my existence, and everything after that will be downhill."
We talked about this a couple of days ago, and I said I haven't seen Coldplay live, so I can't really judge.
Yeah,
But for me, I think it's Artbat or Monolink.
I don't know either of those people.
So
What about like Fisher and
no, Fisher was
Rufus?
disappointing. Rufus Du Sol is nice to see live. I like their music, but it's not like I don't get goosebumps during their
Okay.
concerts.
You like their
And
music, but it's not like tied to like emotions.
yes, I mean I have always a good time when I see them,
Mm-hmm.
but like so Monolink or Artbat. So Artbat is a Ukrainian DJ duo that I saw last year at the Zurich Open Air, and Monolink is if I'm not wrong, a German electronic music producer.
Mm-hmm.
And why I quoted both of them because I saw Monolink this year. I quoted both of them because they have this one song called "Return to Oz." Everyone listening and who does not know the song, go and listen to "Return to Oz" from Monolink and Artbat.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's like after minute 3, it's a 6-minute long song. After a third minute, it just I get instant goosebumps because it's one of the craziest beats I've ever heard in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And seeing that song live with like all the light show and like everything, that's like the peak of existence, as you would say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean it's crazy what like music can do and like affect you,
Mm-hmm.
especially live.
Yeah. I actually like haven't cried in years, but when Monolink played that one song,
You were a little baby.
I was a little baby, shed some of his tears.
Was it because you were intoxicated, or you?
Maybe, I don't know, it just hit me like everything in that moment, like the people I was with at that festival,
Mm-hmm.
the entire vibe. Yes, I was maybe drunk. I was definitely drunk. But it's just like the music itself and like everything at once. It was just like, wow.
Yeah,
It was overwhelming.
I'm so happy for you.
And like the song has like a very long build up, and I could, as soon as like the build up started, I knew the song would like he would play it now.
Mm-hmm.
And like the build up this of the song was also my build up for the emotions.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I was
yeah,
like
yeah.
getting more and more excited to hear the drop, and like so was the entire crowd. So like
Mm-hmm.
everyone was going nuts, which I haven't seen in a longer time. Like
Mm-hmm.
people were crying, people were screaming. Like I was like screaming of joy. It's not like yay, like cool. Like it's more like, oh my god, this is it.
Yeah,
That's what was crazy to me.
yeah. I feel like music and sports are like two of the biggest things that can do that to you,
Mm-hmm.
especially in crowds
Oh yes,
when you
yes.
can like feel like the entire crowd like have the energy, you know.
If you have a performer who's like who can control the crowd and like hype it up in a positive way,
Mm-hmm.
I think that sets like some artists apart.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've been to some concerts where they're like huge people, like Maroon 5 or something. Like
Yeah.
everyone knows Maroon 5, and they were like, meh. But then I've also been to this band called Colony House, and they're like super small, but it was like one of the best concerts I've ever been to.
Yeah.
So it's like you can't like teach somebody how to do that,
No.
you know?
No.
It's just like you're born with it or you're not. You can make good music, but it takes more of an effort and like skill to control a crowd like
True. I will say I think two acts
that.
that I'm sad I will never be able to see.
Mac Miller?
No, I saw him.
Okay, then never mind.
Was Michael Jackson or Queen.
I feel like Queen would be nuts.
Yes.
Insane. Just like a packed stadium.
Freddie Mercury, he knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
Did you know, like, do you know that one scene when he's like doing the concert for like Aid for Africa or something like that?
He's like, "Ew,
The
ew,
entire,
ew, ew."
like, the entire crowd goes nuts.
Yeah, yeah.
Or like Michael Jackson, like the shows he put on, insane.
I just don't even know how you think about like all those dance moves and stuff.
He's the greatest performer in my opinion.
Yeah. Just nuts.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Although I think I prefer Queen, the music.
Yeah. Same.
It's more, I mean, both of them are fantastic.
Yeah. I don't know, just like Bohemian Rhapsody is just
Oh.
like always gonna be like top song for me. Just like growing up, especially in high school, like I listened to that all the time. In the car when you're just like zooming around.
Yeah.
You wouldn't know because you just started driving.
Oh, okay. I can't argue with that. No, I listened to my mom when I was 6 years old. I started listening to 50 Cent and Eminem. So also really good performers.
Yeah, I actually so weird. I saw 50 Cent at this like random bar in Chicago and like Wrigleyville.
What?
It was so annoying because they were like, "Oh yeah, 50 Cent's coming. Like it's $170 to get in." And I went in and like cuz someone's friend of a friend bought a ticket for me. I didn't have to pay for it. I just walked in. And then there was so many people in this small ass bar. And then 50 Cent showed up at like 2 in the morning.
Of course you would.
And performed 2 songs and didn't even actually rap. He just lip synced. It was funny though.
I don't know why, but like I feel like the same with 50 Cent. Either you love him or you're like, nah.
Yeah.
But I love this guy.
Yeah.
He's the reason why I got into hip hop.
Really?
Yes. The first album I ever bought is Get Rich or Die Trying.
Mm. I can just imagine you just like some little white Swiss dude, like kid, just listening to that.
Well, and my mom loves it as well.
Yeah.
Like we're driving up these mountains, and like I have an entire playlist that she also listens to when we're driving up here.
Hmm.
And like her favorite song is Many Men,
Yeah.
Many Men. It's I don't know why, it's like childhood for me. It's like with
Hmm.
you and Queen.
Yeah. My so my parents were in town. I think it was when I was graduating,
Mm-hmm.
and my dad was staying at this hotel that had like a sauna and a pool, whatever, and he loves all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
So he went to the pool, he was swimming, and then he went into the sauna. There's nobody in there except for one guy, and he's like huge. He sits down, he looks up, it's 50 Cent.
What?
Yeah, so he's just chatting with 50 Cent for like 10 minutes,
What?
and he's like, dude, 50 Cent's massive, like huge. He's a
Yes.
huge dude. And he said, like, my dad couldn't even last in the sauna because he put it up like full blast. It was like so hot he couldn't even like sit in there.
That guy is intense.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like just walking into a sauna and you see 50 Cent. But my dad's the type of dude to be like, oh hey,
No, I couldn't. 50 Cent is in front of me. I couldn't be just like, hey,
who are the people that you would just be like starstruck if you saw?
50 Cent. Eminem.
Yeah.
I think a lot of rappers that I look up to, like,
Lil Baby.
no, absolutely not. I think I would have been the same with like Mac Miller.
Yeah.
Rest in peace. I don't know. For me, it's like Eminem and 50 Cent have this very special place in my heart. I listen to like the Marshall Mathers LP and Get Rich or Die Trying were the first two albums I bought.
Mm.
I have to correct my statement from before. I don't know which I bought first, but they
Yeah.
came out at the pretty much same time, or I bought them at the same time within like weeks. And for years, like that was the music I listened to. I mean, yes, I bought more albums of them and whatnot, but
Mhm.
I don't know. Like these two albums, especially Get Rich or Die Trying, has a very special place in my heart.
It's just crazy how rap went around the world and it's like attracted random Swiss kids and
Yeah.
stuff, and like because it's talking about things that not a lot of people can
No,
like.
don't happen here.
Yeah, it does not happen.
I don't know what it is, but like the entire Get Rich or Die Trying and The Massacre,
Mhm.
his second album, are, I want to say, like there's a few albums in this world that I can listen through entirely and say every song is amazing.
Mhm. Can you rap at all?
No. I understand what he says, but I have no chance.
Just like,
Well, I can be like Many Man. Like there's certain moments I can rap along, but I only do that when I'm by myself in the car. No, not doing that anymore.
Mm.
But it's crazy. Like Get Rich or Die Trying starts with like you have like a bullet falling on a table, and then he like loads a gun,
Mm.
and I just, as soon as this like goosebumps happened, like,
Yeah,
and
well,
I like, it's an intro that lasts like 10 seconds. It's in my playlist.
because you just love it so much.
Yes, it's like I've known this for, it's, I don't know, it's difficult. It's part of life at some point.
Well, I think if you love something when you're a kid and then you hold on to it, like a song or a album or something,
Yeah.
when you listen back to it, like it evokes the same emotions and brings you back to like that moment.
Yes, but I will say that's only the case with these two guys, because I used to listen a lot of Robbie Williams when I was younger,
Mm.
or like Michael Jackson, and surely I still listen here and there to Michael Jackson, but he doesn't evoke that crazy emotion.
Mhm.
And Robbie Williams nowadays, I'm just like, yeah. But
Yeah.
like 50 and Eminem, I don't know what it is about them. I think 50 more than Eminem.
Mhm.
Because I think Eminem has just so many insane good songs that it's
Yeah.
difficult to choose. And 50 Cent has these two albums, and like Curtis, the third album, which I like as well. But like for me, then he started like not being that good anymore.
Mhm.
Or his soundtrack from the movie Window. Actually, also Get Rich or Die Trying, same name.
Hmm.
There's two different albums.
Oh, is that there was a movie about him or something?
Yes, that's
And his son was the character?
yes.
Yeah.
It's a very, for some reason, the entire album is super unknown.
Hmm.
But you know the song Window Shopper?
I don't think so.
Maybe it's a window shopper. I'm so sorry, dear listeners.
I have no idea.
Okay, well, these are like, I have this playlist and I literally have the three albums in them as an
Hmm.
entirety. And then like a couple of more songs from 50.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
yeah. So yours comparison artist would be Queen?
No.
Oh, I have a feeling I know which one it is.
What do you think it is?
I forgot the name, but you played it to me when I was in October in Ohio and we went playing Top Golf. And I was so confused.
Oh, the Ben Rector guy. Like it's like a very like romantic.
Oh,
Like
God.
yeah.
I was like, I hope I can become deaf.
I don't know why. Like I growing up, I was just such a like big romantic person that I just loved stuff like that. It was just like sing songy. White guy sings about how he loves his wife or something.
Love the comparison. And I'm me, I'm like ghetto boy from Switzerland.
I still love like slow music about love and stuff. You know, I'll play it in the car and you're like, not next.
So for all the listeners, I'm very egoistic with my music when I'm driving. But so today suddenly I was like, oh shit, I never asked, like told them like you guys can play your music. So I was like, here, Matthew, plug in your phone, do whatever you want to do. I felt really bad. And I like to listen like hip hop or like techno music, especially in the mountains. I like aggressive music to drive accordingly. But then Matthew plays on his mushy, slow music, and I'm like, man, I'm falling asleep right now. It's not good. So I started skipping songs, and I'm like, next.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like my personality of being like super chill, less talkative and whatever, like slow
hmm
fits like the music that I like.
Oh, so
You
you're also
know?
slow, like mentally slow.
No. I take my time.
Depends on what.
That's true. I don't know.
When it's eating, it's not the case.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, that I think that guy. I had this weird phase of actually like low key like really liking Justin Bieber.
I was thinking about this before in the car. You played two different songs, and I'm like, Peaches is acceptable.
That's a really good song. It was like the best song of the summer when it came out.
Well, maybe to you, but not for me.
In
But like,
America, it was.
okay, it's a decent song. But then you play Boyfriend, and I'm like, what the hell is happening right now? I'm like, what? And
Yeah.
you start singing the entire thing, and I'm like, okay, boy, like, what is happening?
Yeah, I don't know what that was. But yeah, I wasn't really that into music. And then I think in high school I kind of liked hip hop, but not that much. Like the one person I actually really liked was Travis Scott
Oh, he's great though.
and his Birds in the Trap
Oof.
Ignite or whatever, like that album.
Oof.
That is just like the one hip hop album where I can listen all straight through and it just like brings me back straight to high school.
I mean, it's one of those big albums.
Yeah.
Should have said something. I would have played it in the car.
We have more time in the car.
It's true. Let's drive somewhere now.
And then I was gonna say another one, but I can't think of it. I don't know. It's all right.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, music evokes emotions. It's insane. There's this one artist that my mom listened to when she was like 15 or so. As a reference, his name is Mike Brand.
Frank Sinatra.
Very good one, but not him.
Mm.
And she doesn't listen to him that much anymore. But every time I put it on in the car on purpose, or when we hang out together, she's like, "Oh my god!" And she puts on the volume like maximum, and then she starts singing, and I'm like, "What's happening right now?" I'll play it as soon as we're done with this podcast. I'll play it to you.
Your mom's just hilarious.
Oh,
Watching videos of her like at a festival or something.
so This is kind of funny. I've been with my roommate Gianmarco and my mom to several concerts now.
Yeah.
And it's never like the first time was at the same Zurich festival, and it wasn't like planned where we were like, let's do it together. It was more like she told us she's joining, and we're like, yeah, we don't care, join. And I think it was us being excited of like hanging out with my mom because we know she's fun to hang out with in such like environments.
Hmm.
But then it's also like I want to pay her a drink or two. And then Gianmarco and I are really good at like enabling us to enable each
Each
other
other,
to
yeah.
drink more. So like everything together, we went to this first concert. We don't remember the music, but we know it was fun. So it happened again. We went to a different concert. It was again the same thing. We got so drunk, and we went like 2 days before to the same event. So the Zurich Festival, Zurich Open Air, has
Hmm.
the main event outside of Zurich for 5 days straight. And then since I think last year, they started call so the abbreviation of Zurich Open Air is ZOA, ZOA.
Okay.
And then they started making ZOA City, and it's like above the city. It's like in this like parkish. I don't know how to explain it. Like kind of a
The
park.
woods.
It's like above the woods. It's like it's a good location to play music. And we went the first on a Wednesday night. We went to see Rufus Du Sol with a couple of my friends. Was great. We didn't get hammered. Like we really had a good time. We were a bit tipsy and whatnot. And then on a Friday, we went with my mom and her best friend from college, and my roommate, and we got hammered, absolutely sauced.
Yeah, she's just hilarious, like dancing and
She doesn't care.
yeah. I love the people that like go to a concert and just do not care.
Yeah.
They just have fun and dance and whatever, you know.
Oh, I get so dumb at concerts sometimes.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think I've gotten even worse in the last year.
Really.
Oh my god, you would laugh so hard. I've started to annoy people. Not like random people, only my friends, especially my roommate Gianmarco.
Mm.
If he would listen, I'm sorry. But he doesn't listen to this podcast.
Yeah.
So like during this one concert, since he's a bit shorter than me, he tried to like take pictures and videos, and I would always interfere. I either take away his phone, stop the recording, put my hand in front of his camera, or when you're filming on an iPhone, you have like the 0.5x, 1x, 2x, whatnot.
Mm.
So I started hitting all the different buttons. So he had to zoom in, zoom out, the entire thing. And he's like, at some point, he looks at me, he's like, man, can't you just let me have like one video? And I'm like, no, not tonight.
Yeah, I just love outdoor events like that.
Oh, amazing.
There's something about being outside. Like going to a concert inside is fun, but then being outside and like the breeze and the outdoors is awesome.
Sometimes when you're sober and it rains, doesn't mind, you don't mind
Yeah.
anymore.
One place I want to go to is Red Rocks.
Yes, yes. I
I've
was
never
thinking
I've
which one
never
you.
been.
Yeah, I really want to go there as well.
Yeah.
Rufus Du Sol had played there, so
Oh really?
yeah, they said they would go back at some point, so count me in.
Yeah.
Um, do you think that you have anything else to say, share with the people?
Um, we could do a hack.
Oh yes, forgot it. Hack of the week, hack of the trip, hack of this
Okay,
trip.
hack of the trip. Um, my anti-hack of the trip is do not hike up all the way with an entire watermelon in your bag. So when we were hiking in Chamonix, we took the gondola up, and then we were gonna hike all the way up to this lake. And thought it was a great idea to bring an entire watermelon, and I got all the way up there with this heavy ass watermelon, and try to use a rock to open it, and it didn't work. So eventually, I used your Swiss Army knife.
Luckily, I had one.
Yeah, and then I don't know what I was thinking because I had to bring up the entire thing down, and it was so wet that it was literally dripping. So that's my anti-hack of the week. Do you have a hack of the week? And now
Hack of the week.
I'll say, okay, my hack of the week is if you're staying somewhere in the mountains, bring a book. It's kind of nice.
It is, yeah, no, absolutely.
Wake up every morning and read a book for like 30 minutes.
Sounds nice. I just wake up too late.
Yeah. And then watch a video.
In the evening, you mean?
No, in the morning.
No,
Oh, you don't?
no.
Oh,
I try to text people in the morning, but sometimes I fall asleep while texting.
yeah.
That's my biggest issue. Like today, I tried to wake up at 8:30, but then I had my phone in my hand, switch off the alarm, wanted to answer someone on WhatsApp, and I fell asleep.
Mm-hmm.
My hack of the week. Go to bed earlier, because that's not what we've been doing. And especially
No.
I'm this type of person, when I go to bed, I like to have, I don't know, half an hour, or longer in my bed to like watch YouTube or like whatnot. That's like my holy, like I love that.
Mm-hmm.
And since we already went to bed at like 12:30, and I always did it, and then I'm like, I watch one episode on Netflix, and then it's like 1:30. I'm like, all right, one more YouTube video, and then the dance starts, and it's like
Yeah.
one more. I'll just look one short video, and then one more, and then it's like 2:30, and I'm like, oh no, I have to get up in 6 hours. No, so that's my anti-hack, to go to bed late, and my hack would be go to bed early.
Yeah, it works.
I mean, I'm also not someone who goes to bed very early, so can't really say anything.
Yeah. I mean, I am, but not on this trip.
No,
But it's all jumbled up anyways. Time is 7 hours difference, so
yeah.
are we slowly landing this plane?
I think we're coming to a landing.
Boeing number 1974.
Boing. Dear passengers, thank you for being part of this trip.
Welcome to Peru.
Oh, stay tuned for more. Let's put it that way. We might be recording again together on a different place in this world.
In Machu Picchu.
Yo, that would be kind of insane, but then people actually have to watch our YouTube.
Yeah. Good incentive.
Dear people, please start watching our YouTube videos.
Please, we need money. We're poor. We're living on the side of a mountain.
I need more money. All right. Well, thank you for listening. And tune in to maybe next. When are you flying back?
I'll be able to record next week. So
all right. So probably next week.
tune in.
Tune in to hear the rest of his great trip to his favorite place. Paris.
Until then, sleep well.
And I'll rise and shine. All right. Bye-bye. Have a good one. Thank you.
Peace.